Raise your hands if you think in the UK children die due to their housing issues. Okay. Let me remind you of the story that shocked the nation. Awab Ishaq, at 2 years old, died due to mold. Awab Ishaq died in 2020, 8 days after his second birthday. And sadly, he's not alone. With countless families all over England living in similar housing conditions. Some families living with mold that spread across the walls and the ceilings, with weevils that feast on the moist plaster that then falls onto their beds. The effects of poor housing conditions are multifaceted and are not limited to one sector. Many of the families and individuals affected by this silent killer are often riddled with financial and health burdens. Let me paint for you a picture of the current state we're living in. In England, one family is served a no-fault eviction notice every 8 minutes. That means a family is made homeless every 8 minutes. More than 1 million households are on the waiting list in England. And the number of council houses dropping to an all-time record low. Tower Hamlets. More than 23,000 households on the waiting list. 1 in 6 live in overcrowded homes. Newham. More than 34,000 households on the waiting list. 500 being added each month. 600 properties becoming available each year. And no, you didn't hear me wrong. The housing crisis have made countless people desperate. With a shortage of homes and increasingly higher demands, it's only getting worse. 2.4 million people in London living in poverty. That includes the 1 in 3 children in London living in poverty. That's 700,000 children and counting. Let's ponder that for a moment. That number doesn't sound too good, right? No. Today I bring for you a story from a neighboring borough, Newham. A story that represents the harsh realities faced by countless families. A reality marked by homelessness and inadequate housing. And it's not just a story. It's a collective cry for help. I bring to you an emotional plea from a mother who sees her children's health, mental well-being, education, and life expectancies erode within the confinements of a system that often silences their struggle. A family of 7, living in the confinements of a 1-bedroom apartment, a place made to be called home for over 17 years. A mother married with 5 children, 3 of whom of secondary school age. A third daughter, studying art GCSEs, struggles to find work and a place to store her assignments. I see a father, crippled with heavy spinal pain as he reluctantly walks over his sleeping children at 5 a.m. to take his medication and go to work. I see a mother, burdened with stress, the stress of raising a family within cramped quarters. This family's life experience has been marked by small rooms, overcrowdedness, and restricted mobility. A place where children take turns on who gets to sleep on the floor or the bed. A place where children are taught how to walk and crawl, not on floors, but on beds. A place where families make their beds, their dining space. Their beds, their revision space. Their beds, a place to grow, learn, and develop. A place to call their own. But is it really their own? Stuffed between four walls, feeling like they're being piled over. Bodies upon bodies upon bodies upon bodies. Piled under bodies upon bodies upon bodies. Just imagine the strain on their education as the teachers begin to notice the effects of sleep deprivation and the loss of concentration in class. Today I bring to you an emotional plea from a mother. She came to me, face tight, emotions filling her eyes, as she told me, I don't care for my life. I don't care for my husband's life, my life. I care about my children. They're not happy. This is not a life. And the problems don't stop there. I see a family stripped of its potential, where the mother is experiencing asthma, arthritis, high blood pressure. The father, 60 years of age, suffering with severe spinal problems, high blood pressure and depression. And the oldest daughter, third year of university, works as a night nurse in this low-income household, battles with her own mental health. And her attempts at reaching for help for her family is met with rejection. The schools reach out to the council, expressing and highlighting the effects on the behavior of the children and their education, but they have been dismissed. GP health letters rejected. The council claiming that the house doesn't affect health. How many times have we heard this repeated rhetoric? A saying often heard by families such as our Ishaqs. But the family didn't stop there. They reached out to local mayors and MPs, leading to no progress, leaving them with a simple directive of just keep bidding. The plight of homelessness and inadequate housing can no longer go unchecked because it's suffered by the silenced and often unrepresented class, the homeless population. Worldwide and right here on our doorsteps. In East London and right here in Tower Hamlets. Tower Hamlets houses a vibrant and significantly cultural community. A place where people have built their lives for centuries. A place where families strive to provide a better life for their children. Tower Hamlets Council have done countless things for the community, ensuring that the quality of council homes are maintained, and at the peak of the pandemic, ensuring that residents gain the duty of care they deserve. But more needs to be done. But more needs to be done. We must bridge the gap between cultural and language barriers that hold back vulnerable communities from gaining the duty of care they deserve and accessing the services they need. We must do this in 3 ways. Ensuring that there's information sessions to increase the visibility of services, because unfortunately, many families go unaware of the services available to them. We must do this by mobilizing grassroots organizations, because they have that deep connection to the community. Secondly, have representatives that not only just translate information, but understand the conversation being had. Representatives from the community, for the community. Okay. Thirdly, Procedures need to be put in place so that staff are educated on the cultural nuances specific to certain communities, especially those isolated. And the last one, as a bonus. Communities, especially vulnerable communities, should be part of the discussion for decision making and policy making, making sure that policies prioritize the well-being of families over sporadic indifferences. Because if this doesn't happen, the silent killer that still lurks and haunts families to this day continue to lurk freely within their homes. 8 minutes has long passed, and I'm saddened to inform you that a family has been made homeless. We must act now.